what if I told you that a key part of the modern Ferrari story is wrong?
So, if you ask pretty much any car enthusiast what Ferrari's first all-wheel drive car was, they'll almost certainly point to this one, the Ferrari FF. It was a wild V12 Grand Tour that really shook things up back in 2011.
But you know what? That answer isn't just a little bit wrong. It's wrong by more than 2 entire decades. The real story actually starts right here, with this kind of weird-looking prototype from way back in 1987. This was a top-secret project, one that was basically buried for years, but it ended up leaving its fingerprints all over the Ferraris we know and love today. Okay, so let's dive into this forgotten experiment. The 48 4RM was never, ever meant for a showroom. You wouldn't have seen it on a poster on some kid's bedroom wall. It was something way more interesting. It was a rolling laboratory.
And its name? Well, it was basically a technical spec sheet hiding in plain sight. 408 stood for a 4.0-liter 8-cylinder engine, and that 4RM at the end? That's just quattro ruote motrici, which is Italian for, you guessed it, four-wheel drive.
See, this wasn't a car built for customers. It was built to answer some really big questions. Ferrari's engineers were wondering if they could future-proof their powerful V8 engines by sending all that torque to all 4 wheels. They only ever made 2 of them. And the yellow one, it actually sits in Ferrari's own museum today, a little time capsule that most visitors just walk right past.
And this thing wasn't just some styling exercise. Oh no. Underneath that unique bodywork, it was packed with technology that was absolutely radical for the 1980s. I mean, we're talking about stuff that seems complex even by today's standards.
For starters, instead of using a typical mechanical center differential to connect the front and rear wheels, the 408 used this incredibly complex and unusual hydraulic system to get power up to the front. It was a pure engineering flex, really, just to see if it was even possible to package this kind of tech. And that system had one core job. It was designed to push a fixed experimental ratio of about 29% of the engine's torque to the front wheels. This wasn't one of those smart, variable systems like we have today. It was a constant, brute force test of just one specific setup. Now, to really get your head around how different this car was, you have to look at its contemporaries. A car like the Ferrari 328 GTB from the exact same year was celebrated for its simplicity, its lightweight. The 408, on the other hand, was this heavy, complicated science project. It weighed almost 200 pounds more. And the experiments went way deeper than just the drivetrain. The team actually tested 2 totally futuristic chassis designs. The first car, the red one, used a folded stainless steel frame. Then the second one, the yellow one, used an adhesively bonded aluminum frame they created with Alkin Research. Both of them worked, but honestly, neither one really made sense for mass production at the time. So if the car was shelved and the tech was just too weird for production, why does it even matter? Well, because this ghost in the machine would go on to influence the future of Ferrari for decades to come. You can literally connect the dots. That so-called failed prototype from 1987, it provided the foundational data. That knowledge resurfaced in 2011 with the FF. It was then refined in the GTC Lusso, and today you can find its principles in cutting-edge cars like the Purosangue SUV and even the hybrid SF90 Supercar. The knowledge they gained from this project, understanding the unique challenges of packaging, weight distribution, and cooling an all-wheel drive system, it gave Ferrari this critical head start when they finally decided the market was ready for the technology, a whole 2 decades later. But this all begs one big question, right? If this technology was so influential, why on earth did Ferrari bury the project for over 20 years? Why did we have to wait all the way until 2011 to see it again? Well, the simple truth is the car was a solution to a problem the market didn't even have yet. The system was just too heavy, way too expensive, and the technology was nowhere near ready for production. I mean, this was the era of the iconic Testarossa. Customers wanted lightweight purity, not some complex all-weather machine. And that extra weight from all those experimental systems, that was a serious performance penalty. In the world of Ferrari, where every single pound matters, this was a compromise that customers back then simply would not have accepted. So this strange history has really left collectors divided. Is the 408 4RM a crucial technical milestone, the real beginning of modern Ferrari performance?
Or is it just a fascinating footnote, a weird little in-house project that never really went anywhere?
Ultimately, the 408 4RM proves that sometimes the most influential ideas aren't the ones that succeed right away, but the ones that teach lessons for later. And it makes you wonder, what other secret projects, forgotten in the archives of today's big companies, are quietly laying the groundwork for tomorrow?